Weber Award is really focused on rewarding departments and units that fulfill the educational mission of the university, meaning departments that show evidence of directly investing in student success, encouraging and rewarding innovation, creativity, and application within the classroom and within the community, engaging in collaboration in a meaningful way with other departments and units or with our community itself, both the local Louisville community as well as the global community, and in rewarding, planning for, and meaningfully creating faculty development that moves the university mission forward.
I think the first thing that we did that I think helped quite a bit was really thinking about putting it together in our own head. What really is our mission, and what do we think of ourselves as teachers, as a department, and what do we do well, and what's our role and what's our mission? And once we clarified it in our own head, it was really easy.
I think awards for teaching are somewhat rare, and I think it really gives a great degree of gratification for the work that you're doing every day that oftentimes goes unrecognized.
Our leadership, our chairman, is incredibly engaged in education and values it. And then from the bottom up, we have learners who are excited to be here and engaged. And that's one thing we tell our resident applicants and students here. We want you to be engaged. We want you to come in and say, this is what we want, because a lot of our ideas come from the learners themselves.
The process of applying for the award is a two-stage process. Our committee first gathers and reviews the first stage applications, which are 3-page applications submitted by departments or units to show their interest in the award and also give initial evidence for their success in meeting the goals of the award and the goals of the university.
There were 4 of us that got together and said, okay, what should we emphasize about our department? What do we want this application to look like? What are our strengths? What's our educational mission? So we had to really cut and think and be precise and but try to include things that were across the continuum and across the spectrum to show the breadth of what we were doing.
Second stage is much more in-depth, requires more reflection and more information from the departments and units themselves. And the second stage of the application is also more in-depth for our committee members because it requires committee members to visit and observe and score actual classroom teaching, small group teaching, and departmental meetings and interactions that support the department's commitment to education and to excellence.
Then once we made it into the second round, we had to create much more depth and put some facts behind it. That piece actually was a little bit easier to do because we could talk more about what we were doing. Our focus, in medicine, I think, as in everything, to be quite honest, you're a lifelong learner, right? No one should stop learning. Stop learning when you die, hopefully, and hopefully not before. But that is a huge focus of the department. So we need to make sure we have opportunities for people across that spectrum, and so the second phase really focused on that. The observation piece was challenging. A lot of our teaching is not come sit in the classroom and watch what we do. So we had to choose things that were amenable to watching, but at the same time, you're not having to be there for 3 hours of rounds. Choosing the meeting that they had to watch was also challenging. And it just so happened that the meeting that we had, we had issues that had come up around that, a faculty meeting, issues that had come up that really showcased a lot of what we were doing around curriculum development and a lot of what we were doing around assessing learners.
Try and find a theme that really captures your perspective on learning, but what you do every day. And so, for example, that theme for us, we realized as we thought about our learners and our approach to teaching them, and how we guide them from the early stages of their education, those first and second years of medical school, where they're learning the basic science foundation. Then they gradually get more and more exposure to patients, more and more responsibility and independence in caring for those patients, to the point of the graduating resident who is ready to go and do that on their own. And that theme is something that's very similar to what we do in guiding our patients from infancy through toddlerhood through adolescence, with a very similar increase in independence, decrease in the amount of supervision, to where you have a happy young adult who's ready to go out into their world. Finding that theme that was representative of both our teaching and our work was really key. For us, it's not just about teaching medical knowledge, but about being a role model of professional behavior, communicating effectively, being able to critically appraise research. And so it encompasses all of those things. And so find a diverse representation of all of the things that you teach.
The committee is drawn from recent winners of the President's Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching, the Faculty Favorites Award, which is awarded by your students, which is one of my favorite awards, and also from the Weber Award itself. So all of these very high caliber, high profile awards and their winners are represented on the committee, and you're really, one of the neat things about the award is you're really being reviewed by your peers. You're really being reviewed by people that are in the trenches, that are teaching every day, that know the challenges, but also know the passion and the joy of teaching. And that's part of what we're looking for, but not just from one individual, from a department or unit.
I'm really proud of our department as a whole, because so many people contribute in so many unique ways.